Uh, this is gonna be a rant, but I want to talk about this particular subject. But first things first, I do this for me, for venting purposes. And if you don't like it, please get the fuck off my channel. I'm not looking for any praise, no accolades. Now, back to the subject at hand. I want to talk about something that's been on my heart for a long time, and I'm going to talk about it right now. And like I said before, when it comes to dealing with people, a lot of us ain't shit. It don't matter if you're black, white, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Chinese, whatever, man. I realize a lot of people are just full of shit. It just is what it is. But throughout my life and what I've been through, me being a black man in America, when I do business with black people, it's like they would try to pull some type of scam on me. They would try to create some type of ulterior motive to help benefit them, but not me. You know what I'm saying? It's like they would undercut me or try to do something that'll benefit them in the end, but instead of benefiting both parties. You get what I'm saying? They would undercut me, but do some things that'll benefit themselves. And I've been through this with black people for the most part of my life. For most part of my life, I've dealt this with black people. It's like when you try to do business with blacks, man, they will try to trick you. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers would try to trick you, and all you try to do is trying to do good business with them. You try to do good business with people, with black people, but for the most part, they try to trick you. You know what I'm saying? They try to undercut you, try to trick you, or develop some type of ulterior motive to help benefit them and not benefit both parties, like you and them. And it's like, why bother? Why bother dealing with black folks? You know what I'm saying? And they wonder why black people don't create small businesses in black communities. You know what they do? You know what I realized, man, when it comes to small business owners, man, I realized this might sound crazy, but I've seen this. I've seen small black business owners operating in white suburban neighborhoods. I know that sounds crazy. But it happened. But it happens sometimes. Like when you go into small suburban neighborhoods, I've seen middle class black people who owns a small shop, who owns a small business in a middle class neighborhood, and they're black people. You know what I'm saying? They have a black owned business in a mixed neighborhood or in a white neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? It lets you know that those white people accepted that black person for setting up shop in their neighborhoods, because it happens. It happens. It just overall, what I'm trying to say is that blacks would rather take their business elsewhere instead of doing business in the black neighborhoods, because black people will try to undercut you. They will try to do this, that, and the third, and it's too much. It's too fucking much, man. Too fucking much. It just is what it is, man. It's just too fucking much dealing with your own kind. And sadly, it's black folks, man. It's very sad. Very fucking sad. But what I'm trying to say is that, man, dealing with other races of people, like, for example, I'm going to give you one good example. When it comes to getting a job, I remember I was at the job placement and training program, and it was black people that was working there. It was all black people, mostly blacks, was working there. And when they found out, I don't know, it's like when they found out that I was different or something like that, like the way how I carry myself and the way how I talk and how I pass the so-called exams and all that stuff, like in a way, like from their viewpoint, they would try to, act like I don't have common sense. But it's like, no, not common sense, but they would, in the sense, like try to act like I didn't like have any common sense, or they try to act like I didn't like I gotta put this in so many words, man. They thought that by me being a nerd or a college boy or something like that that never got in trouble with the law and all that stuff. They thought that I would be oblivious to what they trying to do behind closed doors. They thought that they were trying to be slick. You know what I'm saying? They try to make me do certain things that I won't catch on to. You know what I'm saying? Basically trying to trick me into doing something that I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to do that. You know what I'm saying? They try to get me to do almost anything, and I wasn't gonna fall for it. See, they thought that I was so damn desperate and trying to do this, that, and the third, but they didn't realize that I had a strong mind of my own. They didn't know that I had the ability, you know what I'm saying, to say no to certain things. See, they wanted me to beg. They wanted me to beg and say, do this, that, and the third. I didn't do that. You know what I'm saying? They thought that I was, in dying needs of a job, or I was in dying need of employment, or they said, they basically said that, it's like they try to make me out as some type of beggar, and they are my saving grace. But it wasn't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like that at all. I had my own mind, and I knew what the fuck I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? But overall, they didn't use me for their own selfish gain. Even though I didn't, get anything out of it, I didn't find employment at that area. So it kind of worked out for me anyway. You know what I'm saying? And I felt relieved. I felt really relieved because I realized that those particular black people that worked at that job placement program, they wanted to use me for their own special gain. They wanted to use me, and they thought that I was oblivious to what's really going on, but I wasn't. I did know what the fuck was going on, and I didn't know what I wanted. You know what I'm saying? Them motherfuckers they wasn't gonna play me like that, and I'm glad I got out of that motherfucker, man. It just is what it is. I'm glad I got out of it. But here's my thing, though, when it comes to dealing with blacks, man. I remember one time when I was in college, I was in a city college, right? Of course it was fairly mixed, But when I was dealing with my advisors, and most of the advisors that I've dealt with, they were black. And they was giving me the runaround. And what I mean by the runaround, they was giving me classes and information that I should not be a part of. And I was basically ripping and running all over the place. And it was giving me like certain classes that I really didn't need to take at all. So basically giving me the runaround. So basically not telling me what I exactly need to do, for me to graduate. But guess who gave me the proper information and the proper information in classes in order for me to graduate? It was a white woman. A white woman. I went up in the main office and I sat down to the advisor. She was a white woman. She's, I sat down. We introduced each other. We talked and all that stuff. And she looked at my program. She said, "Wow, you have all your credits, but you need these particular classes in order for you to graduate." And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, you have all your credits, but you just need these few classes in order for you to graduate." And guess what? She hooked me up with those classes, and I went on to the admissions office and all that stuff. I got my classes, and then after that, I took the classes, and I made it. I graduated. Ain't that a bitch? Black folks was giving me the runaround, but when it came to that one white woman, she sat me down. She looked up on the computer. She saw my name. She saw my classes, and she realized I got all my credits. It's just that I need a few more classes in those classes, and I needed to pass those classes in order for me to graduate. So she looked up those classes, and she hooked me up with those classes so I can be able to graduate, out of college. She hooked me up with that. You get what I'm saying? Black folks is giving me the runaround, but this one particular white woman hooked me up. She actually hooked me up, and she didn't have to do it, but she did. I just needed a couple of classes, a couple of requirement classes in order for me to graduate. Just a few of them. That was it. And that's how I graduated out of junior. That's how I graduated out of college. Ain't that a bitch? It's like what I'm trying to say is that black folks, gave me a harder time throughout my life. I thought that, black folks gave me a harder time. And I thought that, it was going to be other races of people was going to give me a harder time, but it wasn't. It was mostly black folks. It was mostly black folks who gave me a harder time. But when it came to other races of people, not so much. Like I said, that one particular person, that white woman, she hooked me up with the right classes that I need in order for me to graduate. Here's some more facts. When I was in college, it was a couple of white women that taught, certain classes that I was in, and they didn't give me a hard time. You know what I'm saying? They respected me. And did I pass those classes? I can't remember. I think I did pass those classes with C's and all that stuff. But overall, they didn't give me a hard time. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, I respected them. I gave them their respect. And then in return, they gave me my respect. You know what I'm saying? Reciprocity is key. You treat others how you want to be treated. And that's what I did. I did that. I do that with everybody, man, whether you're black, white, or whatever. But I realized when it comes to black folks, man, it's like black people, they will treat me all sorts of type of way and all that stuff, and it's messed up. But don't get it twisted, though. Don't get it twisted, though. Don't get it twisted. I did come across other races of people that did me wrong too. Don't get it twisted. I did come across some other races of people that did me wrong as well. But the vast majority of my time, of me living, it was mostly black folks. But don't get it twisted. There's been some other races of people that gave me a hard time too. But the vast majority of time, it was black folks. And that's what I realized that, I had to expand my horizons. It let me know that I'm glad that I was glad that I expanded my horizons. It let me know, and it let me know that I'm glad I expanded my horizons. I'm glad that I had an open mind, and I'm glad that I've experienced those things too, so I can pick up and know what to do and what not to do when it comes to dealing with people. You get what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm kind of glad of that. I really am glad of that, man. I'm so glad, because it's it's so hard for me to connect with people, deal with people. Not because I hate people. I don't hate people at all. Hell no. It's just that it's so hard to trust people, and it's very hard to connect with people because of people's mindsets and all that stuff. And it's like, man, because I'm not trying to say that I'm a special bird or a special flower or anything. It's just that I just think differently from other people. And by me thinking differently from other people, and what I mean by thinking differently, I'm talking about having an open mind, and not just an open mind, but also have the ability to see through the nonsense. So not only I have an open mind about things, but I can, in some ways, pierce through the bullshit of what others are doing. And it made me realize that a lot of people are full of shit, and that's why I stay away from them. I stay away from when I sense, or when I know for a fact. When I know logically when a motherfucker's trying to bullshit me, I don't deal with that person, man. I just go on ahead and go on about my business. And it's so hard to connect with people when I realize that a lot of people are full of shit. Let me just stay to myself and just deal with myself, man. But overall, though, man, what I'm trying to say is that I'm glad I expanded and broadened my horizons, and to know what type of people to deal with, and to spot, negative nonsense, man. Once I see negative nonsense, I'm not going to go near it. I'm going to escape it. I'm going to get the fuck on out of here, man. When I sense negative bullshit, when I sense negative shit, I'm getting the fuck out. Plain and simple. And that's all I got to say about that, man. That's all I got to say. So, yeah, man. So I thank you so much, and have a good day.